I want to actually start off with the topic of organizing customer work. So, basically, as a voiceover artist, you're going to get a lot of projects. You're going to get reference material, you're going to get scripts, sometimes you'll get background music that you need to mix in. And after you record the project, you're going to sometimes have multiple files. So, how do you keep track of all this? How do you actually organize your files? That's one thing I actually want to cover right now, real quick. And for me, I keep it very simple. Simplicity is my favorite. So personally, whenever I record a file, I actually label it the name of the company and then the name of the customer. And then I put it into a big folder which is titled that year, so 2023 or 2024. And that way I can search by year, by customer name, and by project. Sometimes I'll even add in little details like whether it was a fast delivery or whether they had a specific file type so that I can search that way as well. But that's how I label my files. I keep them in one folder per year, 2023, 2024, so that way it's easy to find. So no big secret there, but that's actually how I stay organized. And as far as the scripts, as far as the actual content the customer sends me, I keep that for maybe a week or so and then I delete it. There's no need to keep reference material from customers very long. If you do need it for some reason, you can always go back into the conversation with that customer, re-download it, and then re-reference it if you need to. But that's how I do it. I keep the material for maybe a week or so, and then I just clear it out, make some space on my computer. We got one question here from Glitch. What kind of work do you target? Character work, anime work, commercials, does it matter? It definitely does matter because you want to choose work that is a good fit for your voice. You don't want to just choose random projects that you didn't really think about. You want to actually consider what your voice strengths are. You want to consider what kind of demo you actually put together, and then you will audition for those projects or, reach out and work with customers that specialize in that type of project or that type of genre. So that's how I do it. You want to actually experiment. You want to find out what kind of voices you can do and what kind of voices you're good at. Maybe that is commercials. Maybe that is ads. Maybe that is narration. So definitely take some time to experiment and find out which one of these is your strength. So that's super important there, especially in the beginning as as you're starting out. All right, cool. Well, I want to actually cover some of the most frequently asked questions, which is what kind of qualifications do you need to do this? What kind of equipment do you need to do this? How do I know if I have the right voice? And of course, the jobs. But before I get into that, we have a question here, which is, what would you say you specialize in? Are you stronger in one than the other? I definitely specialize in commercial or corporate type ads or animation and character voices. Those would probably be my personal biggest strengths. And later on, I'll play my demo so you could actually see for yourself kind of what I mean by that. But let's go ahead and start off with what kind of qualifications you might need. Now, the good thing is you don't actually have to have a degree for this. You can do this independent, so you don't have to have an agency. You don't need agents and you don't need managers. So that's the good thing. You can use your own equipment. Start this up completely on your own in your room or in your closet, put together a demo and start actually working with the customers that you would like. We have a question here that says, do you take on a mentee and help coach? If so, how do we sign up? Send me an email or a DM and we'll just go from there, my friend. Just send me an email or DM at chris@voiceoverfreedom.com. So you can do this independently. Now, let's talk about the equipment real quick. To keep it simple, you're going to need a computer. You want a big screen, right? Because you're going to be editing, you're going to be recording. You're going to need a place to record, also known as your recording booth. And you're going to need a microphone. So those are the main things that you're going to need. Now, the good thing is there is a lot of equipment, a lot of mics available, even at good prices these days. The main thing you want to look for is that it's a condenser microphone. It's okay if it's a USB microphone. It's okay if it's an XLR microphone. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is that it's an XLR and that you learn how to use it well. I've seen a lot of people make the mistake of talking into the mic the wrong way. They're facing it the wrong way. The sensitivity is too high or too low, or they don't know how to change the sensitivity. So all these things you want to actually learn so that you can master your mic, you can learn how to use it correctly, you can get the best audio quality, and your voice can sound its best. We got a question from I Want to Be a Mongoose. Does egg crates actually work for insulation? So I personally wouldn't use it. They're definitely not very aesthetic, but in principle, yes, they can help. I don't think they help very much, but it's better than having an empty wall. Empty walls are going to be the worst thing you can actually do for your audio recordings because when you speak, it bounces all over the wall, bounces all over the ceiling, the empty walls. If you have wooden flooring or tiled flooring, it's going to bounce everywhere. It's not going to sound great. So if you ever want to work with recording professional audio, whether even if that's making music, your own vocals, voice recording, any sort of Zoom calls or anything, you want to have a space that's treated. So no empty walls. All right, great question. So that's the equipment in a nutshell. Now let's talk about how do you know if you have the right voice? This is a question I get all the time. The good thing is there's a lot of different kinds of projects, and every project is unique and different. And so there is a need for male voices, there is a need for female voices of all ages. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It doesn't matter. It's not about how old you are. It is about how your voice sounds. And that's what I tell people. It is about how you sound. So it's not about the age. No one's going to ask you for your age. Another thing too is you train your voice. You train your voice to become the best that it can be. Evelyn, how's it going? You train your voice to sound its best. That means doing exercises to improve its enunciation, your flow, your speed, use of pauses, understanding the material. Me personally, I like to skim the script a couple of times to make sure I really understand the material, to understand the service, to understand the product. So there you go. There's a little tip that you can actually use to improve your understanding. So skim it a couple times, read it through. It becomes easier and easier with time. So that's how you know you have the right voice. You train your voice to become the best it can be so it can become the right voice. Your regular John says, what's a good website to apply for voiceover gigs? So let's get into that next. Where do you get the projects? Where do you get the gigs? So I'm using a website called Fiverr. And I've been using Fiverr since 2010. And the cool thing about it is it's a freelancing website, which means people can sign up and offer all kinds of services, of which we will be posting voiceover. That's what we are specializing in. That's what we're going to be doing. And so that's the cool thing about it is you make a profile, you put a description, you put your own prices, and you can even upload your own demo. So please don't make an account right away before actually having done those steps. You have to make a demo first, which means you have to learn how to actually use your microphone, put together your recording booth, and actually train your voice so it can sound great. Because without a good demo, if your voice is not ready, it's going to be more difficult to get the customers. So have a good quality demo and actually, come prepared. And so I know this could be kind of intimidating if you're just starting out, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to make it easier. Glitch asks, is Fiverr your main source of income is Fiverr your main source of where you acquire work, or do you pick up work elsewhere? Yes, Fiverr is my main place for customers. Now, I will say this. At this point, I do have customers that reach out to me through social media or email. So there's some people that do reach out to me specifically and directly. But besides that, Fiverr is and has been my best source. Now, I have used other websites where I've been very successful as well. One of which I used to use was Voice Bunny. But because Fiverr was doing so much better, I decided to focus only on there. And one thing I do recommend is trying different websites to find which website works best for you. It might not be Fiverr. I have one of my students that was very successful on Upwork. She became a top-rated seller there. So it's kind of about finding which place is going to be the best for you. Your regular John asks, what if I've never done voiceover and want to make a demo? It's okay. If you've never done voiceover, you can start, you can learn. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you and make it easier. Everybody starts at zero, right? There is no voice talent that started with experience. They learned along the way. So you can learn too. That's what I'm here to help with. By the way, I did put together a step-by-step starter course. I have a starter course that actually walks you through the whole process from start to finish on what kind of microphone to get, the best settings for your microphone, how to use your mic, and how to actually put your recording booth together in your closet or in your bedroom, what kind of materials to use, and the training of your voice, warming up, sounding confident, finding your style for your voiceover demo, and also recording, editing, mixing in music, everything you need to know about actually recording high quality professional voiceovers. And the good thing is it's not expensive. Great question, Lobo. It is not expensive. It's not hundreds of dollars. It's a one-time $27. So extremely affordable. I made it that price so that it is accessible to anyone who actually wants to learn about this. So that is available in the link in my bio. Again, a one-time $27 for lifetime access. Definitely check that out if you're interested in getting started.